Hey guys, welcome back. Let's talk about our 2024 independent homeschool subjects. All right, guys, welcome back. I'm Laura Wilkie with Down Home with Lemon Pie. This is the new school year. Can you guys believe we are already there? It is time to get ready for the 2024-25 school year. Some of you guys have already started. We aren't starting till just after Labor Day, so we are still kind of pulling things together, which is actually really late for me. I'm normally way more on top of this than I have been this year, but such is life. And so I'm going to tell you guys, last week I shared with you guys what our family subjects we're going to be doing together, what we're going to be using for those, the resources, the books, all of that, history, geography, science, a couple others. If that is what you're looking for, that's not this video. So go back. I will link it below in the comment or in the description of this video so you can easily find it, and I'll get them all linked together. Go back there. If you want to see what we've used in the past, there is a playlist called Curriculum Choices and Reviews. You can go there and see things that we've used in the past, what we liked, what we didn't like. But today I'm going to be sharing with you guys what we're doing for our independent studies. These are like the grade level specific subjects, like our math and our reading, those kinds of things. So if you are curious about that, this is the video you need. My kiddos, I have 7 kiddos, and they range in age from 13 all the way down to 2. She's going to be turning 3 halfway through the school year. And so the grade levels that I'm teaching this year are 8th grade, 6th grade, 5th grade, 3rd grade, twins that are going to be in 1st grade, and then our toddlers. So that is the group that I have. If that is similar to what you guys have, you may want to keep watching so that you can see what we're going to be using. Okay, so for I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to start at the youngest kiddos. So for my youngest kiddos, which are my 1st graders, this is what we're going to be doing. For math, I like to do the little books. I have a huge pile of books here. I like to do the little books that you really just get at the dollar store, like the simple little addition and subtraction books, and I don't make it a big thing. It's not even something we do every day. It's just learning the basic skills. Sometimes we won't even do it that way. Sometimes we just do like a couple like with manipulatives, and I don't even buy the kits. I just use what we have. So if we're outside, we might use sticks or acorns or whatever. Currently I have just a little jar of random little things that I have collected that the kids lose or whatever, and they lose pieces to something and they just have a couple left, and I'll just throw it all in a jar, and that's kind of our manipulative jar. So sometimes I'll just dump that over and I'll just come up with some math problems. Sometimes I'll use dominoes. For this age level, it's really not something that I really stress over, but I'm probably not going to use those books until next year. So for right now, for 1st grade, I really wanted to get back to this book. I did this with several of my kiddos in the past, and it is the Anno's Math Games. I absolutely love it. There are 3 of these for this level. So there's Anno's Math Games. This is 1. And then the next one has 2, like Roman numerals, and then 3. And they're so good. They're done in a more living book way, and they're very story-ish. I just really like them. The beginning is very, very simple. It's perfect for this age group. You're just talking about things that are the same, things that are different, just learning the very basics. And that part you pretty much go through really quickly. Like, you may go through the whole thing, that whole lesson or chapter in maybe 2 days. It's really quick. Then when you get going a little further, it's got some other things, and it gets a little more challenging as they go. You start getting into tanagrams that you actually make yourself. It has a little model so you can make them. And you start talking about some different things here. It starts getting a little more complicated. And I absolutely love these. It covers so many skills. And when I go through these with my kiddos, they are totally prepared for third grade. By the time we get to third grade, they're ready to go. We do all 3 of these books, and then we do, like I said, the simple addition subtraction books from the dollar store. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start here. We'll see how far we get this school year. So we will go through those. For copy work, I'm going to be using Pen Time, which is something that I went away from last year. I absolutely love Pen Time. It's more of a handwriting / copy work book. As far as Charlotte Mason goes, it really leans more on the edge of copywork, which is copyworks when you have this little passage above and then they write it below. It's not dotted out or anything like that. This is kind of a good blend of both of those, and the price is perfect. Last year, I just kind of made my own. I found some websites where you can make printable handwriting sheets, and I did that, and some of them I had passages, and we kind of did our own. This year, I'm going to just go ahead and buy them for them. I have 5 kiddos, I think, that we're going to be getting them for, and I'm just going to let them get the books because some of my kiddos mentioned that they had such fond memories of doing the books, and the book is so cute and it has a little picture to color, and they really enjoyed them. So I'm going to go back to that this year. So we're going back to Pen Time, and we get these on Rainbow Resource. They're only, I think, $6.95 a piece, and which is a huge steal for handwriting books. I feel like handwriting books sometimes are so overpriced. I have used them in the past, and they have been, I want to say, like $30 for a handwriting book. And I don't want to spend, if I'm going to be spending a lot of money, I want it to be something more than handwriting. So these I don't like to spend a ton. So I love the Pen Time. I love how it's a blend between a handwriting book where you have the little dots, and then it also is a copy workbook where they have the passage and then they copy it. I just really like the way they're done, and they're good. They're Christian. I like them. So we're going to continue with that actually with all the kids. So I won't even cover that again. So for handwriting or copy work, that's what we're doing for everyone except my 8th grader. She'll do something else, but that's what we're doing for all of the others from 6th grade to 1st grade. Okay, so these guys are getting ready to learn to read. We've already been practicing over the summer with just some little basic things, some little beginning reader things. These guys, I'm going to go ahead and start them on the reading lesson, which I have used in years past with, let's see, I think definitely my oldest 3. I think my 4th child, I think I did something different because I just wanted to try something new. I'm going to go back to reading lesson. So that is this book. It is similar, I think, to Teach Your Child to Read in 100 lessons. This one is 20 lessons, but of course it doesn't take that. It makes it sound like it's so short, but this is a big book, and so it takes a lot longer, but they just divided it that way. I did go ahead a couple years back and had the covers laminated and put a spine here just at the office store because I feel like we use it so much it was necessary. So this one I really like. It's really, really basic. It's really good, but that's where we're going to start right here at the reading lesson. And then as you get further on, it's got little stories that we'll read. It's going to be a little trickier this year because I have twins. I may have to divide them on separate days or have a big kid help me out or something, but I do like the way this is done, and it's really well done. The kids have all learned to read, so it has worked. So we're going to use this again. That's the reading lesson. Okay, in addition to that, I do have some little readers. Like I have the Good and the Beautiful kindergarten reader because this is what I did with my 4th child. We did this program and it was okay, but it wasn't really great as far as teaching him to read. It was real flowery and he didn't really learn to read. So every child's different. I still love their program for other things, but he just didn't learn to read. So we're going to go back, but I did keep the reader because the reader is still good. Once they've learned those, it has wonderful stories. So I do want to continue with that. This is not the first one. There's a one before this, but this is the series. I have this whole series. So this is just the one I grabbed that I happened to grab first, but we're going to go through these as well. Just kind of at our discretion where we happen to end up. I went through these last year with when he was in 2nd grade, and they worked out well for him. He really learned a lot, and I love, again, good Christian stories. So that is really good. We are also going to be starting Explode the Code with my 1st graders, and this is also part of learning to read, okay? It's a little bit of spelling, a little bit of phonics. It's mostly phonics, but also you learn spelling. And I picked up level 1. Over the summer, they did one of the beginning levels, and they really, really did well with it. So I do have this now for the twins. They're going to be doing this one, which is, like I said, level 1. And I love Explode the Code so much. It is so well done. And honestly, I didn't know about this. My oldest child was a struggling reader for quite a long time, and a friend told me about Explode the Code, and after we started using this, she took off with reading. So I have been a faithful follower of this ever since. I absolutely love it. We did not do it last year. I just didn't get it. I don't know why. But this year I have it for several kiddos, all the Form 1 kiddos, which is 3rd grade and 1st grade. They're all going to be using the Explode the Code, but at varying levels. So that is what they're doing for phonics and reading and math. And also we have a subscription to Homer, which I love. It's a fun little learning app, and the kids get to use that and kind of continue to practice these skills, but also play games on a computer. So they enjoy that too. We actually have it on tablets, so it's super easy for them. Okay, so that is basically it for those guys. Reading, writing, and math. Yeah, the 3 R's. So that's for the littlest ones, the Form 1 1st graders. My 3rd grader is going to be starting teaching textbooks level 3, which, if you are new to teaching textbooks, is the first level. So it's Math 3 for 3rd grade. That's what he's going to start. I do have it in CD version, but I'm really leaning towards doing it on the app, which is what we did in years past last year. And I loved it on the app. It cost a little bit more especially because I already have it right here on the CD. But I am going to have several kids using this, and switching the CDs back and forth is a little bit of a hassle. So I'm probably going to invest and do the app for this guy as well. But I don't know. I might keep... I'm kind of leaning also, that's why I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of leaning also towards keeping him in the CDs and doing the app for the other 2, because then he can learn the basics of using a computer and mouse, which is also good. So I don't know yet. But either way, he's going to do this program, and that's what matters. Okay, so he's also going to be using pen time, but at his level. Let's see. He is still making his way through the pathway readers, which I showed you guys, which are these. He's still making his way through these, so we will continue that, and we'll probably pick up lots of books. I have tons of readers, little reading things, the little step into reading books or whatever. I have tons of those, and so we'll probably pick some of that stuff up just to kind of change it up so it's not just the same thing every day. But I would like for him to go through that whole series, at least through, I don't know, 3rd grade or 4th grade, something like that. Not the whole series. I think it goes all the way like to 8th grade. We don't have to go that far, but a good portion of it is definitely good. So for spelling and grammar, I don't do a whole lot for these guys because this is the very little ones. I really try to focus on the 3 R's, the reading, writing, and arithmetic. So we try to do that, but we probably are going to do a little bit of this. This is the I Can Read It word list. I actually found this at a thrift store, and I thought, this makes a really good spelling book. It really does. So it has the words at the very beginning. That's like the first lesson, and you can see as it gets on, it has more. So I'm going to use this as kind of a family spelling. We'll be using different levels. It goes pretty far. So I was kind of surprised. We've got some more fancy words down here, a little bit more challenging, like foreign and Nash and sovereign and psychology. So, it really does go. And so for the $1 that I paid for it, I think we'll just do some quizzes here as a family and just seeing how it goes. I did get something else that same day at the thrift store. I get a ton of stuff at the thrift store. But I did get this one too, and I thought maybe we'll add this too as kind of for the bigger kids. So this is College Spelling Studies, and this is like an old book. This says copyright 46. 41, 42, 46. Anyway, it kind of almost picks up where that one left off as far as the complication. So it just goes through all the same thing. It goes through all the words. We have like boundary, auxiliary, indemnification, if I can even say it. But what I like about this is it does a cross. So it has identifies, and then identifying, identification, and then it says derived from, identify, and it shows you how to change up all the words. I don't know where this came from. It says vocabulary building. I don't know, but it looks really, really good. And it's got like a little phonics thing here in the back. Anyway, we are probably going to use this accompanied with this for spelling, and probably for many years, because that's what it looks like. So we kind of do this more as a family, like as a group thing. So we'll probably do that more like as during a morning time or something. And then grammar, like I said, I don't do a lot of grammar. I try to do a Mad Libs maybe once or twice a week. I also have used some of these books in the past, and they've been really good too, but I don't really teach grammar. I don't really believe or teach things like sentence breakdown and identifying all the parts of the sentence. Like the basics, yes, like the differences and how to write a sentence and have a capital letter and periods and the predicate and the those kinds of things I don't mind teaching, but I don't get really in depth into that. It's not been something that has helped me in my adult life, and I do encourage reading. And if you encourage reading so much and your kiddos are reading so much, they will naturally pick up a lot of these grammar things. I did terrible in school when it came to grammar, but was able to write papers in college and achieve a master's degree with terrible grammar scores when I was in grade school. So if you read, we live in America, we all speak English, we read, you pick that up naturally. So I don't really dive too far into it. I did find this book for a really great deal, so I'm probably going to use this a little bit, but not, like I said, as like a in-depth study of grammar and sentence structure. We don't really do that. Bible reading we'll do together. So for a Bible study for this level, we'll be doing things together. I have a couple different ones we will be doing. I have our Bible that we'll be reading together, and then I have a princess one that I really wanted to try and do with some of my girls. So we'll probably be doing those together. And then that brings me to my 5th grader. And so this is considered Form 2, which is 4th grade to 6th grade. And my 5th grader and my 6th grader, I will tell you what we're doing for both of them together. For math, they are doing teaching textbooks at their designated level. For handwriting or copy work, they're doing pen time at their designated level, which may or may not always line up with grade level. That's why I'm saying it that way, because sometimes they may be in a particular subject, they may need to go down a level or up a level, and so from what their grade is. So I don't really say, oh, they're in 3rd grade, they're going to do everything 3rd grade level. Some things may have to be a little easier or a little harder, whichever it is. So at their designated level, they're going to be doing math, teaching textbooks, and pen time. For spelling, I already told you we're doing that across the board. And grammar, same thing. For reading, I will give you guys reading lists, individual reading lists that I'm going to make for my 5th grader, 6th grader, and 8th grader. I'll do those in individual videos, but I did them last year too. So if you want to go and check them out, I will link them below so that you can kind of get an idea of some of the books that we looked into. Some of those books they read and loved. Some of them they didn't get to, so they will repeat and come over to this year. Some of them they started, weren't interested in, and so we just didn't do them. So some of the books on those videos may repeat, and that is why, but also we just maybe didn't get to them, and that's okay. So let's talk about a little Bible study. With my 5th grader, I happened to find this again at a thrift store, and he's 10, and it says it's for 7 to 9, but he would like this kind of thing. This is Treasure Hunt, Fun Activities and Devotions for Kids featuring the Prayer Pups. So this has little devotionals, but also little activities that go with it. Let me see if I can find one for you guys. So we have here like a little devotional, and you can see it's done like in a comic book form, and then it's got some little activities to go with it. This is the kind of stuff that I think this kiddo in particular would do best with. And he is not a big reader, and he needs things that are more like this, exciting and interesting and more hands-on kind of thing. So this is what he's going to probably do. We will start with this at the same time I start with that with him. I'll be starting with this book with my 6th grader, which is an adaptation for children, Hinds Feet on High Places. I read this as an adult a few years back, and I loved it. If you're familiar with Pilgrim's Progress, this is very similar to that. It features a girl this time, and she is traveling in a similar fashion to Pilgrim's Progress, and it is a similar kind of allegory, but I absolutely love it. And this particular copy, if you can find it, is absolutely beautiful. Full color, beautiful pages on the whole thing. So you have the little passage that you read, and it goes in story form. So as you go, you get to learn about it, and you experience her story. And then each chapter has this like a little quiet time part with some information here, questions and things to read and think about. So we will go through this together. Like I said, I really got so much out of it, even as an adult. And I read this version, the children's version. This is what she's going to be doing, and I will go through it with her. We will do this kind of like a mom and daughter thing together, and I think it's going to be just wonderful for her. Yeah, so she ends up being a child of God. So that's what she's going to be doing. Moving on to my 8th grader, and I'm going to start with her Bible study because it is similar, and it is the same, but the full length, Hinds Feet on High Places. This is a beautiful copy too that I obtained. It's from Christian Library if you want to get one like this as well. But again, I found it at a thrift store. But this one, same thing, same story, but not the illustrated children's version. But same story. You've got kind of like you have the Pilgrim's Progress, so it's the same kind of idea. So I am really excited. I think she's going to love this, and they'll be going through them at the same time, so they'll be able to talk about them together. And if this one wants to look through it at the color version, she can do that as well. They can discuss. Like I said, I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited to go through this with them. So that's for my 8th grader and my 6th grader. For copy work, I'm going to have selected passages for her from various readings that we're doing. So that's what she'll be doing. And she'll be doing a lot more of things with like dictation, where I say something and she writes it in the sentence form with the punctuation, so that we can start practicing more on that. And then let's see. Okay, so spelling and grammar will be similar. Reading for her, I'll do in a future video. But let's talk about her math, because her math is going to be completely different this year. We have done teaching textbooks for years with her, since 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. We did teaching textbooks for her. Last year, she finished teaching textbooks early and wanted to get started on the next thing, but she wasn't sure if she wanted to continue teaching textbooks, and I'm okay with them exploring and seeing what fits their own learning style. So she wanted to try out Saxon, which we obtained a copy of, and she tried the 8-7 level, and she just felt like it was so dull and not good. And she has really been asking a lot of questions the past 2 years about, like, why do I need to know this? What's the point of this? Do you even do this in your learning? And I got to thinking, I got to researching, and I was thinking, what else can I find for her? And I found a few options, and then I found this one, and I am so excited about this one. This is through Master Books, and I'm so excited. It's actually a 2-book set. So we are starting with book 2 because it's meant to go either 6th, 7th grade or 7th, 8th grade. And since she did 7th grade last year, I'm assuming she's ready for book 2. So that's where we're going to start. If it works well, next year when my 6th grader moves up to 7th grade, we'll buy book 1 and she will go through book 1 for the first year and then 8th grade book 2. So I'm hoping it works well. But what I love about this, I've been researching it, is it tells you why. And it tells you why God has these different things in math and why you need to know it. And I feel like it is going to really take her to another level as far as understanding what we're doing in homeschool, why we're doing it, why I want her to learn different things or don't want her to learn certain things. And I think it's really going to help. She is a brilliant child, but in this particular subject, she has struggled a little bit, and I think this is really going to help her. So I am super excited to go through this. I think I'm even going to sneak peeks at some of the pages and learn some of it myself, because who doesn't need to know that information? Like, why did God have this and this and that? And it's all related to math. So I'm really, really excited about this. If you can have a chance, get online. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I really do think it's going to be a good subject. So that's what we're going to be doing. I don't have it in yet. It's on order and it's coming, but it's not here yet. So when I get it in and we've done it for a little while, I will do a review video and you'll be able to find that later, and you can see in more in depth of what we think about it. But for now, I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to go well. So that wraps up our independent studies. There's so many things that every year that I want to do or I plan to do and maybe we don't get to. Next week, I'm going to focus on showing you guys the reading book list for my older 3 kiddos, 5th, 6th, and 8th, and show you guys what I'm going to encourage them to read. So stay tuned for that. If you want to see what they were reading last year, I will link those videos below. And at the end of the year, my then 7th grader did a compilation video with me. She was on the video with me and we talked about some of her favorites. So if you want to see any of those, I will link them all below so that you can find them. In the meantime, guys, let me know what you're doing. Are you doing some of the same things, some different things? Yeah, so this is what we're doing and I'm excited to share it with you guys. Like I said, next week we'll talk about the reading list. So if you haven't already, do subscribe so you don't miss, and make sure you hit the notification bell to all, because if you don't hit it on all, you're going to miss the videos because YouTube's like that. So I will catch you guys next time.